Good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm here on Facebook Live. I know many of you may or not have many of you may not know about the article about Apostle Deputy Taylor on Charisma Magazine, Charisma.com, and the things they're saying right now. The articles made by this man named Lee Grady. This man who has only been in ministry, full-time ministry, for 8 years, trying to come against an established man of God, an established apostle, prophet in the world, established king in the world. I'm telling you, you guys, they're trying to come against him. He's only been in ministry for 8 years. Apostle's been in ministry for nearly 30 years. And all the things they're saying about calling him a false prophet, trying to say that Jeremiah's a cult. Jeremiah is not a cult. Okay, so all the things they're saying about saying that these are the clear signs of a false prophet, and that all these things. First of all, Apostle Taylor, he's an amazing man of God. One thing that they're trying to say is that we're around here, we're all secretive and things like that. We're not freaking secretive, okay? We're not secretive because we're on national, international freaking TV, affecting millions of people around the world. Some of your lives are being saved. People are trying to say that we're a cult and things like that. First of all, Lee Grady, he's a novice. He's only been in ministry for 8 years. You can't come against a man of God like that, and you only know so much. And to think that that all these things about God and things like that, he was basically just being accused of the brethren throughout the whole article. Everything they were saying, even to say that. Even say all these accusations and things like that. We tried to reach out to them. We tried to reach out to Charisma and Lee Grady, send them emails and try to reach out to them trying to get them to stop this foolishness, this buffoonery. And we tried to reach out to them, but they even in their own ignorance, their own arrogance, they literally denied to settle with us, denied to meet with us. No, the word says, Jesus said, you have an art with your brother, go to him. You're to go to him and meet with him if you have an art with your brother. Not to expose it and to try to spread the gospel all over the world. That's what's wrong with this generation. We live in a gospel generation. We live in a generation where people are murdering people with their mouths. People are speaking death, speaking murder. People are murdering people with their mouths. And this is a generation where people believe anything they see on the internet, believe anything. It can be anything. It can be just the most hideous, most elusive, just the most ridiculous lies. And just because they see on the internet, it's because they see it's coming from somebody who has a platform, somebody who has exposure. They're gonna believe that crap. And that's the thing. You can't believe everything you see on the internet. People, you cannot believe everything you see. Anybody could put anything on the internet. It's ridiculous. And we try to reach out to them. Apostle Taylor tried to reach out to them, try to get them to sit down and talk with him face to face, but they denied to. And even just bringing out all these accusations about the ministry, about Jeremiah, it's just all foolishness. And it's really just a religious spirit. It's really just a person, somebody who's being an accuser of the brethren. It's satanic. And people will believe in all this crap. It's just crazy. He tried to say that he tried to say that Apostle Taylor is financially manipulating people to sow into the ministry. No, we're a global ministry. We affect millions of people around the world whose lives have been touched. They've been healed of cancer. They've been raised from the dead. They have been literally lives have been changed. Jesus has come into them, appeared to them. Jesus appears to people, telling them to sow into this ministry. Apostle Taylor does not manipulate anybody. Anybody is not manipulated. People are blessed, and they give honor where honor is due. Where you give, their treasure will be also. They give and they sow into this ministry because they're blessed. They're thankful. They have the heart of gratitude to sow and to bless a work of God, a move of God like this that's changing millions of lives around the world. This is global. So to say we're even in a cult, to say we're in a cult, or the cult is a small group with certain specific beliefs, that's the definition of an occult. This is not an occult. This is not a small group. There's 14 million people around the world that are following Apostle Taylor, that is following face to face. We're not a people with our own beliefs and systems and things like that. We're people who stand on the full gospel, stand on the word of God, and affecting millions of people around the world. This is not a cult. We're not a small group. So to say we're on a cult, that right there, just how massive this is, just how massive this move is, that blows everything else out of the water. You can't say that we're a cult, and you can't say that we're a cult. You can't say you're in a cult if you're a small group. It makes no sense whatsoever. Even to say all these things about him financially manipulating people. There are people, listen, we have so many hundreds, so many testimonies of people who have Jesus has appeared to them. The Lord come to them in dreams, come to them in visions, come to them physically and tell them, David is my friend. I want you to sow into this ministry. I want you to give into this work specifically. There are how many ministries you know where Jesus appears to somebody and tells them personally, I want you to sow into this ministry. That's because God is validated by Apostle Taylor, and even God is validated by Apostle Taylor. God is backed up by him, and this is not his ministry. This is God's ministry. This is Jesus' ministry personally, and Jesus is Apostle Taylor is Jesus' best friend. We're not trying to hype up anything that we're not. I'm not worshiping a man. I'm giving honor where honor is due. The Bible says worship only belongs to God. Honor all men. And you know what? People are trying to say out there, you know, that all these things that are happening is so ridiculous and things like that. This is the real move of God. This is God face to face. God is with Apostle Taylor. He's literally, you know, with Apostle Taylor backing up face to face. And even in the article, he tries to say that, you know, Apostle Taylor, he tries to make himself also ought to be some kind of spiritual elitism and try to make him basically something that he's not. Listen, Apostle Taylor does not making anything of himself. Anybody that comes here to this ministry, to this movement, God is behind Apostle Taylor. And Apostle Taylor is not going to draw him. He does not draw anybody to himself at all. Not at all. He's not drawing anybody to himself at all. You know, he is the most humble man you ever meet in your life. I'm not being cliche right now. I'm not being cliche. I'm not just saying it just because he's my apostle, you know, my leader and things like that. I'm saying it because of factual truth. And not only because of what I've witnessed, but because of what God I said about what God has witnessed unto me and unto thousands, millions of people around the world about his best friend. And because, you know, this is not, you know, he does not make himself to be anybody. He does not, you know, he's not trying to make a name for himself. He only promotes Jesus. God, every person that comes here, you're not going to learn about Apostle Taylor. You're going to learn about Jesus. You're going to be drawn to Jesus. You're going to be drawn to God. Your life will never be the same once you have this encounter. Once you come in contact with this. And you know what? You know, Apostle, he only stands on what God has called him out to be. He does not stand on anything of himself. He's not boast about anything of himself. He only stands on what God has called him out to be. He only stands to the authority that God gave him. God has given him the authority that he did back when he was in 1997. He only stands on what God has given him, not on anything else anybody has said. And so to say he tries to be some kind of spiritual elitism, you know, that stuff it's just trash. It's crap. It's crap. And for you to even lead to even oppose, try to even spew out all this mess, all this foolishness, where millions of people around the world, not just thousands, millions, masses are being affected by this move of God. People are being healed. People are being saved. Jesus is appearing to people face to face around the world. For you to even come against something like this, it's ridiculous. You're retarded. You're an idiot, and you need to repent. It's ridiculous. And I'm telling you. And listen, you know, my life has been changed by me connecting with Apostle Taylor. My life has been changed. This stuff, you know, these things that I've encountered, that I've experienced through Apostle Taylor, through face to face. I've seen Jesus face to face through this movement, through this move of God. My life's been forever changed. This is not an occult. This is not some kind of this is not witchcraft. This is the genuine power of God. And you know, 90% of you who even call it an occult, you never even been here. You never even been here before. You never even been to any crusade or services. You're just going by what you see on the internet. You're just being immature. You're just going by what you see on the internet. You have not had an encounter. You've not had an experience for yourself. You've not come here personally. I'm telling you, you need to come to a crusade. You need to come to One Night with the King. As a matter of fact, come and experience it for yourself. Don't just go by what you see on the internet. Stop just drinking. Stop just receiving everything that comes to you. The internet is full of so much lies. It's full of so much trash, so much foolishness. Anybody could put anything on out the internet. Even those of you who've seen the deposition videos, I'm telling you, all that stuff is trash. For you who don't even know the truth, that deposition video was from a video that came out that was made over 3 years ago. And it was not it's not a freaking FBI investigation. No, it was a deposition video from a divorce case of a woman who had sown a large sum of money into the ministry, and her ex-husband named Rick Frazier, who Charisma Magazine is listening to, by the way, he was offended because his wife had given money to a black minister. Racism, that's what it is. So really, all of you who are out there listening to all that crap, you're listening to a man, a racist homosexual. Yes, he's a racist homosexual who's out there trying to spew out all this stuff because of offense, because his ex-wife gave money to a black man's minister. So he started putting out all these videos against Apostle Taylor, threatening him because Apostle Taylor refused to give back God's money after she sold that money into the ministry. And after that happened, that's when he started putting out all these videos about Apostle Taylor. He even went to put one on Apostle Taylor. He sent out thugs. He sent out gangsters out to one of Apostle Taylor's churches in Washington State to spray paint KKK on the walls. And to spray paint KKK on the walls. And and the church was vandalized. Windows are broken into and everything like that. So even to entertain that stuff, it's lies. It's not true. In Charisma Magazine, they're the ones, they pursued Apostle Taylor last year to do a whole 1-year contract to do ads in their magazines throughout the whole year. Then all of a sudden, which we found out the truth was, we found out all of a sudden they dropped the contract. We found out that Rick Frazier, this man, was an enemy of Apostle Taylor, who's putting out all these videos about him. He went to them and sent them emails and told them and tried to downgrade their viewpoint, their viewpoint of Apostle Taylor in their mind, and tried to just put poison in their mind and things like that to try to get them to try to stop this movement, try to stop what a guy's doing with Apostle Taylor. And they listen to this foolishness. They listen to this foolishness, and so as a result of that, that's when all this stuff happened. As we see now, this article's out. Lee Grady, this man, he's not even established. He's a novice trying to come against an established man of God, and it's just sickening. It's just foolishness. The stuff people see, you just believe anything on the internet, and they're listening to this man Rick Frazier. They're listening to this racist homosexual. They're listening to him, and basically they're out there, just listening to all of his lies, all the lies he's feeding them, and we even have proof that this man Rick Frazier even sent out emails to Charisma officials, and even after that happened, we even reached out to them. Apostle Taylor reached out to them to try to warn them, try to warn them about this mess, about this foolishness, try to warn them about this. And they still wouldn't listen. They still would not want to listen. They want to sit down and talk with Apostle Taylor. They just took the mess. They just took what was given to them. And it's just a whole bunch of foolishness. And it makes no sense because this generation, man, I'm telling you, this generation, they love mess. It's so messy. This world is so messy, man. Anything that they hear, they want to receive it. And that's why Charisma and what this man is doing, they're really just being murderers. They're being murderers. Yes, they're being murderers spiritually. And the word says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And one thing I learned from Apostle Taylor is that the fact that for you to speak evil about somebody, you're basically murdering them in the eyes of the people you're talking to about the other person. You're murdering them in the eyes, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. You're speaking death over them. You're speaking death and murderous things over them. And whenever you listen to it, whenever you listen to that junk, that stuff, you're listening to it. You're taking it in. You're basically taking in that murder. You're basically taking in death, because the fruit of murder is death. Murder produces death. So when you're receiving those murderous words about your brother or sister, you're taking in murder yourself. You're taking in death into your spirit, into your mind, into your heart. You're taking in death. And that's what this generation has really come accustomed to taking in death. Whenever it comes against a man of God or woman of God, they want to listen to everything. They want to listen to that poison. They want to listen to murder, and they take in that death. This is the type of generation we're listening to. Generation that they want to listen to anything they see on the internet. They want to listen to anybody, anything they see out there on the internet, out there. They just believe anything. It's just so vulnerable. It's just so vulnerable to believe anything out there that they see, and you can't live like that. Even people said that Jesus was filled with demons. And people back then in Jesus' day believed that crap. That Jesus was filled with demons, the Son of God. And here it is. They anything they see out there on the internet about Apostle Taylor, not even knowing him personally. You could just hear something about somebody and don't even know them personally, and all of a sudden you got a problem with them. What the freak? You crazy? And all the stuff that Charisma is saying out there on the internet about, oh, he's trying to hype up himself spiritually. He's manipulating people for money. It's just wickedness. It's foolishness for them to say all that stuff. And really, what you're doing, you know what you're being an accuser of the brethren. This is really a satanic attack against the man of God, because you're hindering the millions of people around the world that God is sending here to be healed, to get breakthrough, to get miracles, to have appearances from Jesus. You're hindering them from having that experience. You're hindering them with your idle words. You're hindering them with your murderous words against the man of God, against the crown. You're hindering them from coming into the destinies who God has sent here personally for them to be spiritually fed. And it's just wickedness. It's just ridiculous. I'm telling you, all the stuff that we're seeing here in this generation. I'm telling you, all stuff out there against Apostle Taylor, against the ministry. It's just lies. It's wickedness, man, and it hurts the heart of the Lord to see the body of Christ divided against itself. It hurts the heart of the Lord, I'm telling you. And you know what? In the fact that they didn't want to listen to Apostle Taylor. They didn't even want to meet with him. Apostle Taylor doesn't even know who J. Lee Grady is. He doesn't even know who this man is, and he tried to reach agreement with him, to try to come to him like Jesus said in the Word. When you have all with your brothers, come and talk to him about it. They didn't even want to talk about it. They just want to spew all the wickedness in their mess. And that's the thing. He's rebellious for that. To not even submit to the Word of God. To not even submit to what Jesus said. That when you have all with your brother, come to him and talk about it. Apostle wanted to talk about it. He didn't even want to listen. Instead, Charisma Magazine wants to take in this spiritual wickedness from a racist homosexual. What the freak is that? You crazy? They want to listen to this man, Rick Frazier, who's an open racist homosexual, who's molested for over 30 years, tons and tons of young black men, and who's stolen millions of dollars, thousands of dollars from charities, from all these different places. Come on now, it's really wickedness, and it's sad. This hurts the heart of the Lord. This hurts God to see His people coming against. See his people divided, and not only that, to even see people come against his best friend. Are you crazy? Listen, this is sad. Even to see what generation is coming to. They believe anything they see out there. You can't believe everything you see on the internet. A lot of stuff is rigged. It's phony. It's trash. It's foolishness. And to believe all that stuff, I'm telling you, this is just pure wickedness. And just for Charisma Magazine, a Christian magazine, you call yourself a Christian corporation, you want to spew out wickedness against other people in the name of quote unquote righteousness. No, you're just being accused of the brother. How you can call yourself a Christian organization and you're gonna just spew out wickedness? You're gonna speak evil. You can use your pulpit. You can use your national, your worldwide platform. Instead of always spreading out the beautiful things of things, instead of spreading the good, you want to spread out evil of what you think what you quote unquote think you think is the truth, what you don't even know about, because you were just too stupid to even want to seek out the truth, to want to even know, to want to even seek out the truth, to want to even know the truth, to want to even look at things from one perspective. You can sit here and try to want to you can sit here and try to judge. You didn't even look at the other perspective. You're looking at one perspective from a racist homosexual. You're looking at things in a biased form. You trying to judge. God's a judge. God don't even do that. The word teaches that in the court in heaven there's a courtroom, and God not only looks at what Jesus has to say when Satan comes in to be the accuser of the brethren. He listens. God, as a righteous judge, as a holy judge, he even listens to the wickedness that Satan has to say. He even listens to both sides. You can't look at one side of things. You can look at one side of a man from a person from a tainted perspective and just say, oh, that's what it is. That's what we're gonna run with. Nah, bro. You need to look at both sides. God don't even look. God does not even do that. God doesn't even judge like that. That's wrong. You can't judge like that, but looking at one perspective. You gotta look at both sides. You didn't want to hear what the man God had to say. You didn't want to hear what Apostle had to tell you. It's wrong. That's wicked. What the heck? What the freak, bro? I'm telling you, listen, God doesn't do that. God looks at both sides. You didn't even do it the way God does it. You looked at one side, Charisma, and you wanted to just run with it. What the freak? And it wasn't even true. Everything you're saying is biased. You lack understanding. You're ignorant. And you lack understanding. J. Lee Grady, you lack understanding of what you're trying to. You don't try to ridicule. Don't try to persecute and ridicule something you don't understand. And so, everybody out there who sees that stuff, don't believe that crap. Don't believe that foolish. Don't believe that wickedness, because they're murderous words that Satan is using. That Satan is behind Charisma. Satan is using Charisma right now. Satan is behind J. Lee Grady, and they're spewing against these with murderous words. They're feeding and speaking murder about Apostle Taylor. And they're trying to feed it to you. Don't receive it. Don't listen to it. Don't receive the death. Don't receive the fruit of murder, which is death. And become tainted. Become down yourself. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And they who love it, we eat of its fruit. The fruit of murder is death. They're murdering Apostle Taylor with their mouths. Don't receive that trash. Don't receive that crap. God bless you guys, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.